You know what it is, everybody. When the games are live, so are we. It's live lines right here on the Keg YouTube channel. Dane Martinez and Mr. New to Your Town, Matt Dickson. We are back at it, and we are trying to get this cash. If you don't know, we are here for the next 2+ hours. What we do is we go around all the games in Major League Baseball, and our job is to find the opportunities for you to make some good live bets. That's why we call it live lines. What's going on, Matt? I expected you to be, live on location at Twin Peaks. What's going on?
Twin Peaks. No, actually, that wasn't the spot I was going to take us. Tuesday's not a good night for our on location.
Okay.
Once football comes, Saturday night, Sunday night, that's where I got a good spot for us.
All right, sounds good. But we are back at it again. We got some people in the chat already, including the Keg. Big shout out to the Keg, of course, for giving us the platform. Smokestack is back in the building. Lounge back in the building, saying, "Let's go, boys, and let's get it." This is our 7th show. We believe that we were real hot, had a little bit of an even week. Last week wasn't as good, but we're still looking at like 9 over 500 for our bets. Rough estimate around 7 units of profit so far. So let's get into it. Tom Zaffino is back. What's going on, brother man? As I look at the board, there's a couple of opportunities I see right away, Matt. And the first one is in Minnesota. I mean, I love when the worst team is up early. We love expecting bad teams to do bad team things. I see the Detroit Tigers up 2-0 in Minnesota. We can get the Twins plus 1.5 right now. That's something that looks good to me. And I'm also looking at the Phillies and the Blue Jays. Philly just scored a run in the top of the 6th. It was zip for a long time. And to me, that's a profile of something where I might look to find ways to bet overs. I got Zach Wheeler with 72 pitches in so far. Kikuchi on the other side with 84 pitches so far. So while these starters on the bump are pitching very, very well, I expect the bullpen to come in at some point. I saw the total before at like 3.5. You love looking at team totals. Those are the things that are on my mind. What do you see on your radar so far?
Well, the one that first off went up to the chat, Stack, Lounge, Zaffino, JW, Kenny, my boy. Like Dane always says, if you see something, say something.
That's right.
Yeah, because I mean, we get a lot of insight from you guys. I mean, Dane's doing 8 things. I'm doing 4 things, so we can't catch it all. If you guys have helped us get a lot of winners. So if you see something, say something. The first thing that catches my eye is Boston. Washington has a terrible pen. Boston can score. I mean, right now it's tough because we have a guy on second and third for Boston, and they're at bat. I'm sure. What can we get on a money line with Boston?
Funny enough, you're not going to believe it. I'm staring at Boston, even though they are down, as you mentioned, with second and third and nobody out in the 4th. I'm staring at them minus 290. Okay, so the book expects them to score
minus 290.
Yes, the team that is winning right now.
Can we get Washington? Can we get Washington plus 1.5?
Plus 215. And I saw them at 1.5, but it just locked. So we're going to have to wait and see what I believe McGuire is doing at the plate. But that's the beauty of live betting, right? I mean, the team that's winning is a better than 2-1 dog. The team that's losing is minus like 250. That is inherently what we're doing here on Live Line. So, I mean, you are looking at Boston. It looks like the book is on to you, brother man.
Right. But now, I mean, if I can get Washington up to 6 runs, that's pretty tempting.
It is.
To make it a 6-3 game?
McGuire got on first base as well. So now it's bases loaded here. Bases loaded, nobody out. So the thing is, the algorithm expects the Red Sox to score at least 1 run here, probably multiples, and take the lead. So to update you, what do you want to get? Washington plus 1.5?
Plus 2.5.
I'm seeing the 1.5, but we're locked right now as well. So let's see what the next batter, who is Justin Turner, I believe. Let's see what he does. Because Verdugo is out, but someone scored. It was Duran who was on third base. He scored. So I have us now tied at 4. All right. So when it pops back up there,
we'll take a look.
We'll let you know. You're looking to get maybe Washington plus a 1.5 or 2.5.
2.5.
Yep. And then things are moving quick though.
I know.
Quick because it looks like we got now 2 outs. So it looks like after that, we got a double play.
Shit.
We got a double play. So now 2 outs, runner on third, and a tie ball game there at 4.
That's why I wanted that 2.5. If we roll a ground ball there, we're sitting at 6.5 to 4 with Washington with an extra at bat, maybe. Well, no, well, maybe an extra at bat.
But the action is fast and furious here. It was actually a sack fly double play.
Yeah, it's all good.
Throw them out. So that was one place to look. We'll keep our eye out on that. What do you think about my Twins here? Look, I mean, the Tigers 2-0. The Tigers are a bad team. Twins are at home, so we get the bottom of the 9th if we need. And I see the Twins plus a 1.5 at even money right now in the top of the 4th.
With a guy on second for Detroit.
Correct. With the guy on second for Detroit, but with 2 out. So I'm hoping that run doesn't come in, because once we get to the bottom half of that inning, that even money is gonna, vanish.
All right. Let me, and obviously if you see something, pull the trigger. But let me concentrate right now on my team, because I usually win with my team. What can we get with the Mets? They're obviously minus money being at home, but how big of a favorite are they?
I got a money line minus 142.
That's not terrible for the better team and at home.
It is the better team. We know we'll get that. We know we'll get that bottom of the 9th if needed. They traded away Robertson at the deadline, but they do still have, your team, right? But the Mets bullpen ERA is actually, to be honest, it's worse than Pittsburgh's. If you want to know the truth.
Oh, yeah.
The Mets bullpen ERA, I'm seeing 4.50, whereas Pittsburgh is 4.14. So actually, the Pirates actually, have that bullpen advantage right now.
They're both pretty bad.
So if they're both pretty bad, let's think about the total here then.
Yeah, what do you think? What is it?
It's 6.5.
6.5.
And I love those even number totals, because 3-3 gives us a winner.
I'm just so stingy.
I hear you. We got Smokestack in the chat. He sees something. He's saying something. He's saying the Marlins at minus 120. I see minus 118. That game is also tied at 5. That one in the bottom of the 6th.
I like the Marlins. I think they're a sneaky good team.
All right. So listen, Smokestack, you get the blessing from Matt over here. I'm kind of with you. I like the home team. And quite frankly, the only thing for me is that it was Framber Valdez early on, and he just didn't have it. And I wonder if Marlins really scored because of that, or if it is that, in fact, their offense. But if you're with it, I'm staring at minus 118. We could christen tonight on Live Lines August 15th. With a little Marlins money line.
It's hard to bet. I hate betting against Houston, but
this is true.
Houston. They're tough. They've been tough forever.
True.
I think they're about the same quality team, though. Let me look at something real quick.
People have been sleeping on the Marlins for about 1.5 years at this point.
Yeah, they put out a decent lineup. They added Josh Bell. He's no Babe Ruth or anything, but that was a good little pickup. Chisholm, they added Jake Berger, Dela Cruz. They still
is still hitting what, like 370 something, 380 something?
What's that?
Arise is still
yeah. They added Solar, who was the home run king 2 years ago.
Sorry, Smokestack, you're right. I get Javier and Valdez confused all the time. You're right. It was Javier today.
I'd be cool with that. Can we get anyone got 110 out there?
No, because the Marlins got the leadoff man on in the bottom of the 6th, so that's another 30 cents. So
we're at 150.
I'm at 145, I see.
Well, let's wait until they make this out, right?
All right, let's get the men out. That'll bring it back down a little bit. The Marlins are something we have our eyes on. Red Sox took a 5-4 lead. Remember, they had the runners on. They had a runner on and 2 out. They took a 5-4 lead. So now you can get Washington plus a 1.5 at plus money. And I am still looking at Detroit and Minnesota. I like the fact that the Tigers have 2 runners on and 2 out.
Runners. 3 runners on now.
Real
quick, I just want to say to the chat, if you guys aren't in the Discord, the Kegger Discord, you got to get in there. There's so much going on. We just got a good soccer guy in there, a couple good baseball guys. Dane's in there. Obviously, Keg's giving out winners. Keg's just killed it in the last week. I don't even know how many damn units he won, but it's free, obviously. But I gave Ashcroft today and under 4.5 strikeouts, and he went 7 innings and struck out 2. Wow. So that was a rocking chair winner.
That'll do it.
So,
yeah, I'm also on before it even, before we came on, I was on the Braves team total over 5.5. I was trying to hammer against Luis Severino, and it's 5-0 in the 5th inning. So one more run for Atlanta gets me home on that. Smokestack saying Detroit has been playing well lately. They do have the bases loaded, so we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, that is the Twins plus a 1.5, plus 114, and that line is going to severely change if, in fact, Ober gets this next out and they get out of the top of the 4th. I think that's a big difference right now. Adam Mayer in the chat says, we took the alt under 3.5 at plus 165. Good look there, Maddie, on the strikeout prop. So you went under. Adam has the alternate under at even bigger money. So we like that, to be sure.
Did we get an out in Miami yet?
Have we gotten an out in Miami yet?
I don't see it.
I've got a full count, nobody on, and De La Cruz up, but it just locked. So let's see what he did.
This may be our opportunity to jump on Miami.
It may be. We got the full count, De La Cruz. And by the way, if you're new to this, what we want is the out. And I think we got it now because now I'm looking at the Marlins plus 116.
What, for money line?
Yeah, money line.
Did we get the out though? I gotta be sure.
I mean, I don't really care. I got the plus money that I'm looking for.
I mean, I'm checking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm staring at full count, man on first, nobody out, and that plus money is dropping right now. Now it's down to 106.
He made it out.
That's at even money. So if we want it, we might as well get it. You want to be Marlins fans tonight, Claudia?
What's the number?
106.
Plus?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yep.
That's going to be our first play of the night. We're going to be Marlins fans. They're at home. They are still in the thick of it, and we are getting the Marlins. I saw it at plus 106. That one over on FanDuel. I'm going to add this.
Yeah, take your time. I'm
going to add this, and then we'll keep an eye on what's going on in Washington. And look at this. And here's just my point, and then I'll add it to the scroll. The Twins did get out of the inning, okay, without the run being scored. I was talking about getting Minnesota plus the 1.5 at like plus 114. Now out of it, the run line there goes to minus 120, 35 cents because they get out of that jam as we go to the Minnesota part of the 4th inning. At home, they're down 2-0 to Detroit. I think they're going to make a run or at least close the gap, but we kind of missed that opportunity. Blue Jays tied it at 1-1. That's the other thing I was going to say. Remember here, Matt, with the starting pitchers, I was talking about Wheeler and Kikuchi pitching really well. The game total dropped to 3.5. Now you got a 1-1 game, and we're right there. So that's another thing we were looking at.
Wait, what's the game total?
It was 3.5.
Oh, it was 3.5. Wait, it's not.
Yeah. Not anymore. Now the Blue Jays have tied it at 1, and I'm staring at 4.5. But that's, but the theory is still there. You know how I always say, Matt, I don't want to give a fish. I like to teach people how to fish, and that's why we look at bullpens. And another thing we really look at is pitch count. Okay, Zach Wheeler is at 90 pitches, and Kikuchi is gone. So now we've got 3 more innings in a tie game against bullpens, and 4.5 is still an interesting total because 1-1 gets 2-2.
Does anyone know, did Jordan Romano come back? I didn't check today.
I did not see.
Because they got Hicks and Romano. I think Romano came back a couple days ago. If anyone in the chat knows that off the top of their head. I mean, if they got Romano and Hicks out there, they got a decent pen. What's the money line in New York? Mets.
Mets are minus 160 favorites. Mets are minus 160 favorites. We do have the Marlins money line in. So that's and we've got the Marlins up in the bottom of the sixth still. They do have a runner on, but 2 out. Stallings is up. So that's a game we'll be following here for a while. If it's your first time here on Live Lines, we come on at around 8:30 for this exact reason, right? This is when the East Coast games are getting to the bullpen. We're getting the third time through the order. We have interesting team totals to mess with. Matt and I both ironically have plays on the same West Coast game in Baltimore and San Diego, where first pitch is around 9:40. So we'll make sure we get those plays out to you in the next 45 minutes or so you can run on and, parlay those and click submit pretty much. But the Marlins
Dane, any chance you probably don't get live team totals, do you?
Sometimes we do.
What do we have for the Braves? I mean, if you could check. Take your time. I can talk to the chat or whatever.
You talk to the chat. I'll find out what we got going on because the Braves do have 2 on, 2 out right now.
Looks like
7.5 plus money to the over.
7.5, and they have 2 guys on, but 2 out.
But 2 outs. They're in the bullpen already, and your rule of thumb is always half a run an inning, right? So.
For the Braves, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so even if they get through this, we're talking about 6, 7, and 8, probably not the 9th. So that would put us at 6.5, 7. So that's why it's plus money for the over 7.5. But quite frankly, I think the Braves almost break your algorithm, Matt. In my mind, what I'm seeing is, we'll get to that top and meat of the Braves order 2 more times in this game. And, that's potential for runs, to be sure.
Yeah.
7.5 plus 116.
Yeah. Well, we could wait and get it 6.5 minus 120.
Probably. If they don't score in this inning, it will probably fall. So, it just did. It just did. It fell to 6.5, but now minus 138.
138. Okay.
Yeah. 2-2 count on Arcia. I like the 6.5.
They looks like they got out of the inning.
Yes, they are out of the inning. So they're through 5 in Atlanta. And here's the deal. I like the 6.5 because we're not going to get the A relievers of the Yankees. And quite frankly, Yankees pen gave up a boatload of runs to Atlanta last night. All right, so I'm looking at 6.5 minus 138. If you're in the chat and you see a better number, let us know there.
I'm sitting with an over 8.5 in the Chicago-Cincy game. I gave that out in the Discord as well, and they're at 6. Over 8.5, and they're at 6 in the third.
H. Selly in the chat says, yes, Romano is back. So that could be cause for pause in the game north of the border. We're in the top of the 7th. 1-1 is the score there. 1-1 is also the score in Citi Field.
What kind of total do we have in Chicago
for the game?
Yeah.
For the game, we're at 11.5. It could be one of those nights in Wrigley. And I got to tell you the truth. That was one that I had circled before we came on. Because in the same way that I like the fact that the Tigers got up on Minnesota as the road team and the worst team, the Chi Sox got up 1-0 on the Cubbies in Wrigley Field. And there was opportunity to get the Cubs coming back. If you're new to Live Lines, we've been talking about the quote-unquote sneaky Cubs offense for a while. They are down 3-2. White Sox, I've got with runners on first and second, but 2 out. And now I'm looking at 11.5 as a game total.
I mean, there's gonna continue to be runs there, but that's a tough one to swallow. 11.5. Wind's blowing in too.
I saw it, but not a bunch, right? It's like
not
5.
A bunch.
Yeah, not a bunch. I always like to check the winds in Wrigley, but I don't think it's enough to really impact our thinking in that one.
What's the Cubs? I know this isn't going to happen.
Total?
What's the Cubs team total? It's probably 6.5. 5.
It is 5.5.
Okay, and they're losing.
So they'll get the bottom of the 9th. And it's not horrible juice. 5.5 minus 102 for them to get 4 more runs. You know we love that cut, Cubs. We love the Cubs. We love the Cubs here.
4 more runs.
And I'll let you know. I think they're just coming back around to the good part of the order, too. They are going to have 1, 2, 3 when they get to the bottom of the third. It'll be Tauchman, Horner, and Happ. Happ went yard his first at-bat. Belly has also been red hot these days.
And they're facing Tukey Tucson, I think.
Yes, they are.
One of the best names in baseball.
Smokestack has Cubs at 4.5 for a team total, but minus 210. I don't like minus 210. 5.5 would be minus 104.
But I like if he sees something to say something. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know. Unfortunately, it looks like there was a solo shot. The Astros have taken a 6-5 lead.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Solo shot from Kyle Tucker.
Fucking guy.
Kyle Tucker, who was my boy with the grand slam at Camden Yards last week. If anybody was there for us for that one, we had Kyle Tucker with a grand slam at over 5-1 with a comeback. He does it again on a Tuesday night. This time he's not our friend, as he gives the Astros a 6-5 lead. Now the Marlins are plus 230 on the money line. Smokestack says always Tucker to be sure. I mean, that Cubs over 5.5 is not. First of all, the game total just dropped to 10.5 because we're out of the inning. We're going to the bottom of the third.
See, I like that better because then either team can go off.
The game total?
Yeah, because now we just need the Cubs to score, where if we go with the 10.
Right, it could happen either way.
Either way.
It did just fall from 11.5 to 10.5, but the juice is pretty juicy, minus 148.
But if we get one out in the top of this inning,
it'll drop. So let's watch the Cubs at bat. Like I said, the Cubs have 1, 2, 3 coming up. But if they are unsuccessful, we will see this juice drop, maybe to a more palatable number, and then be able to get over the 10.5. It is right now 3-2 going into the bottom of the third.
What about the Mets? Are they anywhere like minus 140, 50 money line?
I see Mets minus 140 money line.
Oh, I nailed that one.
You did. Pirates got the leadoff man on.
I know
went out. But yeah, it's fluctuating in the minus 140, minus 150 range.
I need that at like 120.
All right.
Shoot. All right.
After the Tucker home run, Marlins have gotten 2 outs. So now 2 out, nobody on. The Marlins will have 3 at-bats still left here, regardless. So we'll look for that. The Tigers got the leadoff man on in the top of the 5th. So now the Twins plus a 1.5 is plus 140. I think the Twins can make a run here a little bit.
Say it again, Dane.
The Twins now, the plus 1.5 is plus 140. Again, at home against Detroit because Detroit got the leadoff man on.
Plus 140 to take the Twins at home. Losing.
Plus 140 to take the Twins plus a 1.5.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's kind of that's one of the things I had on my mind already, letting people know Detroit is pitching to an over 4 ERA in their bullpen. The Twins are a far better team. The Twins with something to play for, and the Twins are at home.
I wish it wasn't the leadoff hitter that got on. If it was, 1 out and he got on.
I hear you. Well, now the opportunity is probably gone because it looks like we might have gotten a double play ball.
Yeah, I mean, I like where your head is on that game, though. So definitely we're going to eyeball that game.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. But, the leadoff man that was on, that's what got us to plus 140 on the Minnesota run line side.
Right.
That's gone now because there was a ground ball double play. So now with 2 outs, nobody on, that Twins plus 1.5 is now minus 122. 40 cents difference because of the double play.
And like I said, if you like something, fire away too.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So far, we're on the Marlins, and that's about it. I am tempted, but I'm not going to do it now when I'm staring at minus 120 when I had that chance at like plus 140. So I'm looking for a way to, I'm looking for to get that on plus money if we can. Checking in again in Wrigley Field. Manischewitz, Mikey Talkman made an out. So now your 10.5 that we were talking about, that was at minus 140 something, is minus 125.
Yeah, that's
10.5 game total.
Yeah, it's kind of closer to
if we get another out, if the Cubs don't score in this inning, they will be past the top/meat of their order. And after the half inning, we may get either plus money on the 10.5, or it may even drop.
If it drops to 9.5, at 125, I think we jump on it.
I agree with you. My problem is if it falls to 9.5, the juice will skyrocket again. It'll be 9.5 minus 150.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get 125. But
maybe I would almost look to catch it like right before it drops. If I could ever get the over 10.5 at plus money, is something I'd be interested in. Nico Horner with a 1-2 count. But he must have done something because the over 10.5 just went back up to 148. So he maybe got on.
Yeah, the Rangers must have just done something because I could have sworn it was 0-0. That's 3-0.
Going to the bottom of the fifth in Minnesota. Remember, I'm intrigued by Minnesota. We haven't pulled that trigger yet because I didn't get the number. The number vanished from me. So we go to the bottom there in Minnesota.
What about the Cardinals minus 5.5? Is that a thing?
Is that a thing? I mean, we could make it a thing in the alternate universe, right? But Cardinals minus 5.5, you're saying?
Yeah.
That is a thing. That's a thing at minus 113.
What do you think about that?
I'm not mad at that because, Oakland sucks. The only problem is we're not going to get the bottom of the ninth, Matt.
Good point, but we basically...
So we're going to get... it's still only the fourth. Yeah, I mean, they could tack on.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
They could tack on, to be sure. Sometimes I don't like getting the home team at that situation because I'm not going to... And that's a big number there. I'd rather get the plus or I'd rather have that team winning be the road team. That's my hesitation there. Not getting the bottom of the ninth.
Right, but basically what we're saying, Dane, is the Cardinals just have to win the rest of the game, right?
That is what we're saying.
1-0.
From here, they've got to just extend the lead, yes.
Yeah, 1-0, 2-1. We have half the game to win the game, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Nico Horner got on in Chicago, so we go to Ian Happ with a runner on base.
What do we
try to tie it up?
That 10.5, so we're eyeballing that, hoping it may drop to 9.5 at a decent number.
Or even, to be honest, get plus money to the over 10.5. I think that's
okay. What is it now?
It's minus 142 because Horner's on base.
Oh, okay. All right.
But you're right. It is your boy Toussaint on for the White Sox. He's thrown 51 pitches. On the other side, Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks is the far better pitcher. The Cubs are the better team. We like their offense.
So what do you think? What about the money line?
To get a better number. Cubs money line is minus 130. I was hoping to get a better number than that. The Cubs are the money line favorite in this game right now, down by a run.
Yeah.
Similar to what we saw with Washington and Boston. I'd almost want to get cute and talk about like the Cubs laying the 1.5, even though they're down, but that's not the case. Now you get the Cubs minus 116 on the money line because Happ made an out. Bellinger's up. Bellinger having a great year. He's hitting like 325. He's been hot, almost 20 home runs already. He's been real good lately too.
2 outs, bottom of the seventh in Miami.
Yep. Mariners jumping out against Kansas City. They're up already 4-0 in the fourth.
What about what do we got for full game total in Washington?
Full game?
Yeah. Like 14,
13 and a half. That just fell to 12 and a half.
Wow. They're at 9.
They are.
And Washington may have the last at bat.
They are.
So we only need 3 runs to cash that.
No, we need 4.
Wait, well, it's 12 and a half or 13 and a half?
12 and a half, but they're at 9, so 4 gets us to 13.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, exactly.
It just dropped from 13 and a half to 12 and a half, and now the over 12 and a half is a little bit way too juicy. Up, and it went back to 13 and a half at plus money. Plus Smokestack says 13 and a half plus 120. I see 13 and a half now plus 114. It's toggling right now, 13 and a half.
This is a good spot. This is a good spot for more runs to be scored.
I like that. I'd rather the plus money at 13 and a half than like minus 170 at 12 and a half.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So we may pounce on that. Smokestack, you got the 13 and a half at plus 120. That would be kind of the area where I am on FanDuel. It's at 12 and a half. I would rather the 13 and a half, the plus money. It's going, back and forth to be sure. So keep an eye out on that. Marlins did not score in the bottom of the 7th. So we go to the top of the 8th in Miami. That one is still with our Marlins now on the money line down by 1.
Smokestack says we're at 155.
It dropped. Yeah, it dropped now to 12 and a half because we got another out. So that dropped it. Oh, I just got the 13 and a half plus money again. I'm going to do it.
You gonna jump on it?
Yep. I got the 13 and a half plus money. I'm going to try and do it. Yep. I'm going to do the 13 and a half at plus 116 I saw.
Okay. Nice number there.
Yeah. Let's have some fun with it. Let's take that down. Add it here. That is Washington, Boston over 13.5 at plus 116. Duel.
Yeah, I like that spot. There's going to be more runs in that game.
I think so too.
Washington's pen is terrible, so hopefully they'll give up some runs and then they'll get that 9th inning at bat against middle reliever type.
Yeah, the Washington pen is the worst in the National League, an over 5 ERA there. So hopefully we get some more runs there. We're looking at that. We need the Marlins to still score. And I continue to be intrigued by the Twins coming back. They're in the bottom of the 5th with a man on, but 2 outs.
Obviously, I'm looking at the Cubbies here. But you know what? The Royals have been hitting. And I never bet on bad teams. I try not to. But what kind of team total can we get for the Royals right now?
For the Royals right now? I mean, Matt, I'll remind you, they are the Royals.
I know.
2.5.
2.5. And they got 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 6 at bats.
Even juice.
That's not bad.
Going into if you want to do it.
And they're going against Jordan Lyles. No, sorry.
No, they have Jordan Lyles on the bump. They're going against Hancock.
They have Mike Ford up, my favorite player.
45 pitches in right now. So Royals team total, pretty much even juice on both sides.
Jesus, the Mariners may keep scoring then if with Jordan Lyles on the mound. He's so bad.
The Mariners team total is 7.5.
With 9 at bats.
No, the Seattle team total is 7.5, not the game. So they have 5 at bats left?
Well, they're up now.
So 1 less potentially.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. 6 at bats.
Yeah, that game's in Kansas City, so we'll see what the Royals can do there. Cubs did not score in the bottom of the 3rd. That game is still 3-2. So you were talking about the game total in that one. Now the 10.5 in that game is even money, is even juice on both sides, Matt.
But it's still 10.5.
It is still 10.5. We go to the top of the fourth. We go to the top of the fourth in that one. 3-2 Chi Sox, 10.5 minus 112 both ways.
So we got 6 at bats and we need 6 runs. 12 total at bats, I guess. 6 each.
Correct. Yeah, we would need 6 runs. They come in bunches at Wrigley, though. We've seen this a ton. Twins do not score in the bottom of the 5th, so maybe it's a good thing that I have not pulled the trigger on that one.
Just waiting to get the Twins plus 2.5, you know.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. We also got 2 outs in the top of the 8th in Miami. Let's see who's up for the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th, because now we're Marlins fans. Seattle goes up 5-0, by the way. Seattle just scored again.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they could keep scoring.
Yeah, I mean, it's your boy Jordan Lyles, right?
But he's got to be about to come out.
Miami, 2 things I'll note. Miami's going to have 3, 4, 5 coming up this inning. We need them to score, remember, once we get to the bottom of the 8th. The other thing I'll say, I don't know how many times this season we've seen this. Luis Ariz is 0 for 4 tonight, which is pretty crazy. Which is pretty crazy for a guy that's hitting around 380, I believe, still.
What about Cardinals team total against the trash pen of the Athletics?
So they have extended their lead already.
I know.
They are 5-0. They've got men on. That Cardinals team total, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's going to be 7.5, right?
It is 7.5.
Which we're not. We're going to lose the 9th, so I don't want that.
Yeah. And that minus 4.5 you were talking, now it's minus 6.5. Minus 6.5 for the Cardinals right now. So they expect the Cardinals to even get another run in here, potentially in the bottom of the 5th. We got Miami coming up. That's going to be a game to keep an eye on. And we go to the top of the 6th in Washington. We need runs in Washington, and we need Marlins runs in Miami. Bottom of the 7th coming up in Atlanta as well. Riley, Olsen, and Ozuna up. Ozuna's already gone yard in this game. So this is a hot spot for that Braves team total. If you were listening to us, I'm holding a 5.5 Braves team total pregame, so I could use one more run there just so I could put that one to bed.
Oh, shit. I had a run to be scored in the 5th in that Atlanta game, and they didn't score.
In the 5th inning?
Yeah. Lost that bet. Shit.
That's unfortunate. They did not score in the 5th. They've got 5 runs on the strength of a 3-run homer in the 1st and a 2-run jack, I believe, by Acuna in the 4th. And now they got the meat.
What about the Mets money line right now with the Pirates at bat?
Minus 138.
Man, that's close.
You were looking at that minus 140 last time you asked about it.
Yeah, it's starting to
get a piece of the Mets here tonight. There was someone in the chat who was talking about the Mets pen, and the Mariners go up 7-0.
There it is. Yeah, just keep scoring.
The Mariners
we probably missed that, but
we probably missed that. We were talking about the team totals there. Smokestack, need 10 by the Braves myself. Listen, I just need one more from Atlanta. I mean, goes home a winner. So now, by the way, also because the White Sox have nothing brewing in the top of the 4th. Look, now the over 10.5 in Wrigley Field is plus money. It's plus 104, which means if they get out of this, if we go to the bottom of the 4th, we might get that 9.5 that you've been looking for at Wrigley, Matt.
Yeah, that's what I'm really looking for. Yeah, 100%.
Viper 47, what's going on? Welcome back. Dexter, welcome back. Ramon says, I know it's the Royals, but you have to be impressed with the Mariners right now. I mean, listen, they just put up a 7 spot, didn't they? I mean, you can't. You gotta respect that. A 7 spot in the top of the 4th here against Jordan Lyles, who's, by the way, up to 76 pitches.
Jesus, through 4?
I mean, through 4, yeah. Or
I'll tell you what, the Guardians
3 2/3, really, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Guardians, if they're up in the 6th inning, I feel it just seems like the game's over.
Yeah, that bullpen. We've been talking about that bullpen. That's a lot of things that we look at here is the strength of the bullpens. And Cleveland does have one of the good ones. They were up and they locked it up the entire time. That is a final in the Great American Small Park, 3-0. The Guardians win that one. You had the Ashcroft under strikeouts, right? A couple of alternate.
Yeah, that got easily. You could have done the alternate 2.5 and got.
I mean,
260.
that would have taken some cojones to be sure.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Jazz Chisholm up for the Marlins. We need the Marlins here. We need the Marlins to score something. And they are 1 man out, nobody on. So we need some runs here against what is a decent Houston bullpen. Abreu is on the hill for them there.
Oh, the Pirates are 2nd and 3rd, no outs.
Nobody out. So now you can get the Mets almost 2-1, plus 196 Mets money line.
Yeah, but you got to figure one of them's getting in here.
Right.
Let me see who's up.
For the Pirates?
Yeah.
I'm
watching. I'm watching it.
Okay. I've got Davis up.
Yeah, Henry Davis. He shit the bed. It was last night with the bases loaded.
Couple of 1-run games we're following right now in Miami and in Washington. Houston up 6-5. Bo Sox up 5-4.
Can we get plus 1.5 with the Mets?
In a second, I'll let you know it's locked as Davis, I think, just did something.
There was a meeting at the mound.
Oh, okay. Still 5-0 Atlanta. Also, I'm trying to get one more run, and they are threatening with runners on and 1 out. When that Mets run line comes up, I'll let you know. I've got it locked right now. 2 outs in Miami. That solo shot from Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker giveth and Kyle Tucker taketh away. We're finally in the bottom of the 4th, by the way, in Kansas City, Seattle, after a 7 spot in the top of the 4th. I mean, you've been talking about Kansas City being able to hit lately. You can get Kansas City plus 7.5.
Really?
Yeah. You can get Kansas City plus 7.5. You know they're going to pull Lyles. Smokestack says you can get the Mets plus 1.5 at minus 120. I see that now as well. Minus 118, I see. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. So they are assuming that these runs, at least 1 run will come in, is what they're thinking here.
Henry Davis.
What up, Gerardo?
Break out.
What up, Gerardo? She says, what's up to Dane and Twatty?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Back. Dexter says, Twins money line, LFG. I've been looking for the Twins plus 1, a run and a half. He's on the money line at basically 2-1. Still on the same theory of the Twins coming back here. The Twins, we are going to the bottom of the 6th with the top of the order here, and they just pulled the starter. So we are finally at the bullpen.
Henry Davis struck out.
Did he?
Yeah.
So your Mets. Go ahead.
What about the Cubs money line? Anything interesting there?
Even money. Even money.
2 outs, bottom of the 4th.
Yep. Even money on that one. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th, nobody on. Unfortunately, Our biggest spots right now are in Miami, where our Marlins are now down by 1, and we go to the top of the 9th. So the Marlins are going to have to do it in walk-off fashion if they are going to win this game, and they're going to have to do it against the closer in the bottom of the 9th. So hopefully it's just a 1-run lead. Leadoff man on for the Twins in the 6th against the bullpen right away. They go to the pen, and the Twins get the leadoff man on. And that plus 1.5 is back to minus 140. I've been tantalized by this plus 1.5 since we've come on. For the last 45 minutes, I've been looking at it. Bases loaded. We got a mound visit in Atlanta. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Arcia is up. Remember, I've been talking about the Braves team total, which closed at 5.5. They're at 5 right now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And the way it looks, they're not going to hit in the bottom of the 9th. So I need them to get it going right here with 2 outs. And I believe Orlando Arcia is, in fact, up. We also need more runs in Washington.
What can we get the Cards at now? 5.5? Minus 5.5?
5.5, yeah. Same proposition. Do they win the game from here? It's even money.
It's even money, though, now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, it's a little later.
Dexter Rojas saying that they're going to go yard soon. He's a soothsayer when it comes to the Minnesota Twins. What's going on, Jonathan? How you feeling, Mr. Nelson?
That's an interesting spot there in St. Louis. We basically need them to just win out.
To win the game from here. But remember, they will have one less at bat.
Right.
And that has always been the problem for me.
Right. But on the other side, it is the worst pen by far.
Yes.
So it's interesting.
That is certainly the case. D-backs now up 2-0 in Colorado. Total 11.5 in that one. Coors Field action.
We can roll the dice on the Mets money line. We got to be getting a decent amount of plus money.
Plus 184.
We roll a double play ball.
Banking on a ground ball here. The time would be now.
They could strike out, fly out, but
oh yeah. But you're planting the flag that they get out of it, in essence.
I mean, they just went to the pen.
They did. We'll let you make the call on that one. I made the call on Nats Bo Sox. I hear you, Smokestack. Damn Braves. They get out of the inning. No runs there. It's still 5-0 Atlanta going into the top of the 8th. I only got 3 more outs for the Braves to score a run. If you want to do it, it's plus 182, Matt. Mets money line.
Mets money line's plus 182.
Correct.
Don't we have to do that?
Listen, you know the Pirates better than most. So, in essence, what we're talking about is, can they get out of this jam relatively unscathed? Ground ball, strikeout, infield pop, something like that.
And if we do, we'll be holding plus 180.
We will with the better team. With the better bullpen, we think with the home team.
With the extra at bat.
You're talking yourself into it, aren't you, Matt?
Let's do it.
All right, there it is.
Sawinski. I see Sawinski's up. I mean, this literally strikes out 40% of the time. But he also.
I mean, the key is this is one of the big leverage spots, right, of it, and that's the beauty of it. We talk about 30, 40 cents per out, right? So we are getting ahead of it, trying to get this number right now. And what the number is that I saw was plus 182. I'll add that here. In other news, we go to the bottom of the 9th in Miami. We need a run. The Marlins need a run here. That's what we need there. And we're going to the 7th in Washington. We need runs in that one as well. I'm going to add to the banner that we're getting the Mets money line.
Well, comes in throwing balls, of course. like every fucking middle reliever.
It reminds me of, what was it? Was it Royals Mets a
They
couple of
threw
weeks
16
ago?
straight balls or something.
It was ridiculous. And then ultimately we lost on a walk-off balk in extra innings, I think is what happened.
Yeah.
2-0 count here. 2-0
3-0. Comes in, throws 3 straight fucking balls.
Yeah. That's not what we want to see.
And this is a guy, just go after him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's hitting 209 on the season. He can run into one.
He strikes out. He strikes out twice a game, every game.
3 true outcomes. 3 true outcomes kind of guy.
Not even close. Not even close.
What, they walk?
Yeah. And none of the pitches were even close.
Ridiculous.
All right.
So now we're in the same situation where, unfortunately, because of the bases loaded, 1 out, we're in a tough spot here. We're in a tough spot all over the place, quite frankly.
Yeah, we are.
Which is unfortunate to be sure.
What is going on?
And in Miami, we're going into the bottom of the 9th where we need runs. They brought in Presley, the closer, in Houston. And we've got 6, 7, 8 up. So we need some love here. We need the leadoff man to get on. We need runs in Washington. And
you're looking good in Minnesota.
Ain't that a bitch, right? Minnesota, runners on the corners, nobody out. Now that plus 1.5 is minus 230. I've been talking about it all freaking night.
First pitch, he just hits him right in the shoulder.
Really?
I swear to God. I mean, he's nowhere near.
He's nowhere near the plate.
Everyone in the crowd is just shaking their head.
All right, here we go. We got a run in Minnesota. The Twins have scored. So now it's 2-1. Detroit, still nobody out. Runners on first and second. That could have been it.
Oh, my God. He just threw a wild pitch.
Oh, you can't be serious. Come on.
Oh, my God. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Oh, my God. The crowd is going crazy.
Still bases loaded. Still only 1 out. And now it is 3-1.
This is exactly what Kansas City did to us. Or not Kansas. Who was it? I forget.
Kansas City and the Mets,
last week.
Yep.
It was the Mets. It was
both against the Mets here.
Ottavino.
Right, it was Ottavino for the Mets against the Royals in Kansas City. This is now the karma coming back to bite us in the other direction. And we go to the bullpen. This guy, Cisnero, could not get the job done. He didn't get it out. He faced 3 batters, could not get it out. And now the Twins, first and second, nobody out, down by 1. Remember, I've been talking about this plus 1.5 the whole damn time. Smokestack says 4-1 Pirates. WTF.
He hadn't thrown. He just threw his first strike. Wow. Okay. Gonna move on from that abortion.
Yep. That was a coat hanger play right there.
Coat hanger play. Nice.
Yeah, I used to when I was younger, one of the things I used to scream while in the stadium was that your mother should have used a longer coat hanger.
Oh my God.
And it was interesting because, parents would turn around and think I was some kind of an a-hole. And then I was ready with a response, though, being like, listen, if your kid understands that joke, it's not my fault. You're a bad parent.
Yeah.
To be clear.
All right. Well, we got a double.
We got a double in Miami. Let's go. So we got a runner on second here with 1 out. Let's see if we can get that run home for Miami. Okay, runner on second, 1 out. That's the spot we really need. That's the most pressing thing. Sorry, Corey. Did I offend you with that one? Sorry, brother, man.
I probably shouldn't have said that either.
You open the door.
Man, any chance we can flip this over to get a rise up? I don't know.
But I told you, a rise is 0 for 4. Arise is 0 for 4 on the night. That's not something we usually see. And to be quite honest, if we get to Arise's spot in the order, then Miami will have scored. In all likelihood.
This guy hasn't got anyone out, and I think they've scored 5 runs.
Yeah, I mean, we it's 6-1. It's 6-1 Pittsburgh. We clearly picked the wrong spot there in Citi Field. I'm sure you're not, Corey. I appreciate it. I'm sure the let's put it this way, the keg chat is not one to easily be offended, Corey. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good there. We are locked again in Miami. We are locked again in Miami. Garcia is up. Man on second, 1 out. Let's see if we can get this tying run home. That would be nice. We have not gotten any more runs in Washington either. So we're struggling here. We need, I mean, the Mets game is kind of crazy. The Mets are now 35-1 to come back. So that one got away from us real quick. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th in Atlanta as well. I know a couple of you guys are also on that team, total. It'll be probably the last chance for the Bravos to tack on.
Yeah, it looks like the Cardinals are going to tack on. I've been trying to get on that for.
You've been trying to get that one. But I'll see you your Cardinals, and I'll raise you the Twins because the Twins still have runners on and nobody out as well. So the Cardinals you've been trying to get, they've got 2 runners on, 1 out. The Twins I've been trying to get 2 runners on, nobody out.
And now we're 3-3 in Chicago.
We're down to our final out in Miami. Man on second, 2 out. Gotta love Corey H. and Kevin both in the chat saying what's up to each other, exchanging pleasantries.
Plus 300 to get a hit, basically.
That's what we're staring at.
You need plus 400, really.
And I got a 1-1 count.
I mean, if he's a 250 hitter, you need plus 400.
Right. That would be true. 4-1 would represent that. Twins bases loaded, says Corey. We've been looking for the Twins the whole damn time. Bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
What can you do? Just money line for the Twins?
Now it's locked right now. Dexter Rojas at one point, if you remember, he went Twins money line at one point. So Walla Walla says, first time checking in. Good stuff, boys. What's good?
What's up, Walla? So we got Joey Wendell up. I'm okay with that, but he's a 1-2 count.
Yep, he is. Joey Wendell hitting 237 on the season. All we need is a seeing eye single. Tie this game up. And after that, what I want to do here, after the Marlins, Matt, is I want to talk about our Padres-Orioles plays. Because that game's about to get going in 10 minutes or so.
And that looks like a final.
Is it?
I think Joey Wendell struck out.
Yeah, he did.
So they get a guy on second, and they can't get him in.
Can't get him in.
All right.
So that's unfortunate. Not off to a good start here. Miami is a loss. The Mets certainly look like they're a loss. And since we talked about Boston, Washington, there have been no additional runs scored in that one. What was 13.5 is now down to 11.5. I hear you, Dexter. We might get hooked on the Braves team total.
It's the Mets are the bad news bears. Holy shit.
The Mets never work out for us. When we thought we have them, they walk bases loaded, walk off balk. When we bet against them, or when we bet for them, they give up 5 runs literally as soon as that happens. I like that, Ramon Scott. Arrested Development out there. Mr. Wendell. The Twins were the look, Dexter. I was trying to get the damn Twins the whole time. Bases loaded, nobody out, 2-1.
What's the money line on that?
It's locked. They're going to be big favorites, though, with bases loaded. So while that's happening, we're about to have first pitch in San Diego with the Orioles and the Padres. Both of us saw this similarly. So I'll go first here, Matt. Michael Waka of Muppets fame. He is making his first start in like 2 months. All right. I don't think he's going to be long for this game. I don't think they're going to stretch him out too early. And he's facing an Orioles team that's like top 10 in the league in runs, in slugging percentage. And to Matt's point that he shared with me before we started here, a lot of the guys in this lineup have seen Waka before. And definitely that is something that we all look to. I don't think he's going to get to 5. All right. So I'm going under 14.5 outs for Michael Waka. It is at plus 120, and it is at MGM Grand. So that's where I'm going. Matt, you're in on this same game, but you just chose a different kind of way to skin the cat. What's your play and what's the thinking behind it?
I mean, I love the line I got. I mean, I can't believe I got this. I mean, it's the first 7 innings over 2.5 for the Orioles. Now it's 130, but I mean, come on. The Orioles can hit. They've seen them a lot. Over 2.5. Normally that's the first 5, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
when you sent it to me, I was like, do you mean first 5?
Yeah, Dane was like, are you sure that's not you should? But he sent me a question mark, like, is that first 5 or first 7?
Right.
So, but yeah, so minus 30 is a lot to pay, but 2.5 with the Orioles against Waka. I'm loving that play.
Yep, I like it as well. Matt, what was the very first thing I said when we came on the show is that I am trying to find ways to get the Minnesota Twins. Well, the Minnesota Twins have hit a grand slam, and the Minnesota Twins are now up 5-2 on the Detroit Tigers. Big shout out to Dexter Rojas, who had the cojones to go with the money line right there. Ramon Scott says, woo, Twinkies. Dexter told y'all. Corey in the building as well. You know, that's a good look, guys. That's a good look. You know, I was hemming and hawing about it, trying to get the best of the number. It kept on, vanishing on me. Dexter said a home run was coming, and boy, did it ever. The Twinkies have put up a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 6th, still without anybody getting out. We have seen multiple bullpen arms for the Tigers. That was the exact narrative I was talking about. Unfortunately, you don't see that in the scroll. You see 3 other things that are not going our way. And now also for anybody that was on that team total with the Braves, that doesn't look good because they are now through 8.
And I think everyone in the United States was on that.
What's up?
I think everyone. I didn't take it, but everyone was on that team total.
Yep.
Playing with the Braves is just take the first 5. They cover it every game
early. Yeah, and they would have done that again as well today. Dexter, that's all right, though. You got a Twins ticket that'll probably cancel out that team total. The Twins have finally made it out in the, bottom of the 6th there?
Royals get the bases loaded.
I will say this. The Cardinals did not score again in the bottom of the 6th. They had bases loaded at one point. That is done in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. It is still 5-0. St. Louis.
What's the 5.5 now?
It's locked. I'll let you know when it pops back up.
All right.
Pirates up 7-1. Blue Jays are 3 outs away. They've got a 2-1 lead at home. We need runs in Washington as well. We haven't found the winner for the people just yet, Matt, tonight.
We have not. Luckily, we have a good cushion.
We do. And we still have some time in Washington. We still have some time in Washington, to be sure. They can come in bunches. And with a close game, you never know. We may see one of those extra innings as well. Look at this. The game you were looking at there, 7-5 Mariners. The Royals have scored 5 runs.
I mean, they've been really hitting lately.
7 for the Mariners in the top of the 4th, 5 for the Royals in the bottom of the 5th. We were looking at that game, looking to go over on team totals. Another one, we're just pulling the trigger in the wrong places tonight, Matt.
Yeah. We
want to know the truth. Cubs get the leadoff man on. Nico Horner gets on base. So we got the meat of that order. It's 3-3 in Wrigley Field. We were looking at that 10.5, 9.5 for the game. We're now at 6, and you know we love the tie ball game because that keeps extra innings in the potential.
You got anything on that cards?
Oh, 4.5 now, but minus 215. As we get into the later stages of the game, there's less variance, so they're not going to give you that big number. They're just going to juice you out on it to deter you. Keg comes in. The people are patient. We were down 34 units in August on Saturday night, and we're already in the black. So the ups and downs are real. I saw Keg put that out, and he's crushing. He's crushing anything with 4 wheels. It could be a truck. It could be a NASCAR. It does not matter. If it has 4 wheels, you got to tail the Keg live, to be honest. Dexter isn't sitting pretty, though. He was on the Twins' money line there when they were down 2-0, and back they have come. I was alluding to it the entire time. They have finally gotten out of the bottom of the 6th. We'll go to the 7th in Minnesota, 5-2 Twinkies. We can use the Nats scoring in Washington, even if they could tie it up and push this one into extras. We could get the picket fence there in extra innings.
Still looking at Chicago.
Yeah, Nico stole second. Hap's still up. I am looking at 10.5 plus money to the over. You need 5 runs there in order for it to happen. You do have the tie ball game. Now there is an out, Hap lined out, so we go to the Bellinger spot in the order.
Don't see any angles at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, either in the chat, Mike Whalen, Keg, and Coop are the absolute best. I hear you, Smokestack. Team stopped scoring the second we bet them. That's what happened in Washington. That's kind of what happened with the Braves so far. But we continue to look. Dexter, who is hot with that Twins money line, he's wondering about Rockies team total. That game is 2-1 in Coors Field in the 4th. Rockies team total right now, it's 4.5 plus money to the over. Can they get 4 runs in this game, Dexter?
That's interesting. I mean, they should. Just initially, off the top of my head, I would say they should.
Mm-hmm. I've got good news for you on some level. Good thing, Matt, that you stayed off the Cardinals. The A's have scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th.
Yeah.
5-2.
But I'm still looking at it, though, so that doesn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They must hit
they
hit a home run, I think.
We got first Oakland.
Butler.
Did he? Yeah, Butler went yard. We're going to get first pitch in San Diego and in San Francisco pretty soon. Remember, we are on I'm on Waka to not make it to 5, and Matt is on the Orioles to score some runs in the first 7, which was a great number, by the way. And for those of you who missed it, Matt is on the team total for 7 over 2.5. That's minus 130 at DK. I'm on Michael Waka to not get out of the 5th at plus money over at MGM.
I like both those, really. I really like yours as well.
Well, thank you. It is a final in Atlanta. 5-0 Braves over the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yankees really sinking ship.
Mets just hit a 2-run homer.
Did they really? Yep, 7-3. I guess we got some time still left there. I mean, listen, 3 more at-bats for the Mets. It is now an uphill battle, to be sure. They're down by 4, but we have seen crazier things happen, Matt. We have seen crazier.
Well, we just saw a crazy thing in the bottom half of the inning.
I guess that's true, right? I guess that's true. We've seen a few big numbers. We've seen some crooked numbers today already. In Seattle, Kansas City, we saw some crooked numbers.
Yeah, Yeah. A lot of these are going to go over. Yeah.
This 7th inning in Citi Field has had 6 out of the Pirates, 2 on the comeback from the Mets. Let me actually change. I'm going to change to White Sox. Cubbies. That game is 3-3.
So what's going on in the chat here? Mets, Dexter, Hoaxack, Mike Whalen. What's up, boys?
Yeah, the Mets we're laughing at the Mets.
Uh-oh, solo shot.
What, for the Mets?
Oh. Yep.
Really? All right, so we're at 7-4. We're at 7-4 there. If it's a back-to-back job. Yep, 7-4. We're still 3-3 in Wrigley as well. So let me go back to this Wrigley game. Check this out.
I'm looking at it.
Game total 9.5. We're at 3-3. I think we just ended the 5th.
Yeah.
So we got the 6th, 7th, the 8th, and 9th. We got 4 full innings to get 4 runs. And we are, in fact, tied. What do you think about that over 9.5, Matt, which right now I'm seeing minus 108?
Minus what?
108.
I mean, I took the over 8.5 to begin the game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think there's going to be runs there. That's why I took the over.
Hendricks is at 82 pitches through 5. We'll see. He'll probably come out and pitch the 6th. Maybe that's about it. And we're already into this. We're already into the White Sox bullpen. That's not.
I mean, what'd you say it was? What was the total?
9.5.
I think they should get to 10. I mean,
I do too.
That's 1 run an inning.
I do too.
And by the way, I have stats on that.
Both kind of. I mean, the White Sox bullpen is bottom 3rd. Cubs are kind of middle of the pack, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm yearning to get the people a winner, if you want to know the truth. So I would lean, let's do it. Over 9.5, minus 108, minus 106 now, as we start the top of the 6th.
You know what we could do is we could wait till we get 8.5. If we get through this inning.
And then the 4-4 gives us the win.
Right.
We would have to, I think, get through the entire 6th. I think we would need to get to the 7th without any damage.
Because that's the spot you like.
It's an animal to me. They are at home right now. Good looks, Gavin. I appreciate you. Gavin says, you guys are beasts. This sport paid my college, and I still can't handicap it daily. It is a grind. In baseball, unlike
live is tough.
Sport, baseball is a grind, to be sure. Now I get the over 9.5 at plus money, though, Matt.
Was there one out?
There must be. Yeah. Grandal was the first out. We're at the bottom of the Cubs order. Bottom of the White Sox order. We will get the bottom of the Cubs order in the bottom half of the 6th. You're on the over 8.5 pregame?
Pregame, yeah.
So it's not much different, right? I mean, obviously it is, but
no, I know what you mean.
9.5 plus money. Everywhere else, like the chat said, though, everywhere we've bet, they've just stopped scoring. But maybe there'll be more runs in Wrigley.
Yeah, the Pirates did walk a guy, so we got a guy on 2 outs.
And Nimmo up, right?
Nimmo's up, yeah.
I mean, if somehow the Mets come back and win this one, it would be an all-timer for us, to be sure.
Yeah, but the thing is we still have 7 outs.
We got multiple at-bats. Yeah, I hear you. I think they just went to the bullpen also, right?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. So I'm intrigued by this over 9.5. I'm going to do it, Matt.
Okay.
At plus money. It's the over 9.5 at plus 106.
And after you do that, I see more runs in Kansas City too. I mean, just saying. I mean, the Mariners have had a good offense all year, and the Royals have been hot lately.
We get into the bullpen there as well. I mean, what do you think about the fact that both those outbursts all happened in one inning?
Yeah.
To me, it's almost like one of the things that I know you and Keg are going to be doing football season. That's going to be a whole ton of fun. I'll probably hop in and say what's up to you guys a couple of times. But for example, one of the things I always like to do in football live betting, Matt, is like when I see a pick six, right? I then go under the live total because to me that's an anomaly. That's an outlier kind of thing that artificially inflates it. And I wonder if, a 7-run outburst in one half inning or a 5-run outburst is kind of a similar. I view it similarly. Good. You know what I mean?
That's a good angle. Yeah, definitely. I like that.
So that would be my concern when you say there's going to be more runs in KC. Just so you know, for context right now, I mean, you might like this though. 12 are in already. They're hanging 14.5. So 3 more, Matty. 3
more in 3 innings. And KC will definitely get, well, not definitely, but they should get the
it's a 2-run game. They should. To be quite honest, if they don't, it's because they got 3 runs. You know what I mean? So
good point. Yeah.
If they don't, then inherently that over is a catch. What I want to see.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
What I want to see is if the Mets can actually push another run across here. 2-0 count on Nimmo. If the Mets can answer the 6th spot that Pittsburgh put up with like a 4 spot of their own and then 2 more at bats, then we're still live here. 3. I got a 3-ball count on Nimmo also.
I don't know how I'm actually watching it live.
Yeah, well, live via streaming, correct?
No.
You're just like watching SNY. Oh, because you in the Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. And you're ahead of me. Yeah. Perdomo got a generous call strike. Perdomo's been nasty, though. Lefty. This is a tough matchup for Nimmo.
Yeah. I got full count on Nimmo.
Yeah, Nimmo's 2 for 3 today.
He's fouling a few off.
Yeah. The Cubbies game, I mean, I would love to just get on the money line, but I know it's not.
Cubbies are minus 220.
What?
Yeah. Chai Sox plus 170 coming back the other way.
He just painted the outside corner.
Strike 3 on Brandon Nimmo. All right, 7-4. I will say this though, we got something to watch here. We got something to watch to see if the Mets can come on back. Nationals and Red Sox stopped scoring as soon as we talked about them, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we're zip in San Diego. We're zip in San Francisco. Brian Smith saying Brewers team total over 3.5 and the win.
Plus
money line plus 190 for the Brewers tonight in Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, I mean, the money line at 220 is ridiculous. I was tempted to lay minus 160 or something and take plus 2.5 in that game. Like,
Right.
it just makes no sense. I mean, I get it. The Dodgers are a good team, but the Brewers are a good team too. I mean, good-ish.
Yeah, I mean, division leader, playoff team.
And it's not. I mean, it's Miller against Hauser.
Miller. It's not like right. That's what I was just gonna say. It's not like we're seeing, Kershaw Burns or Woodruff or something like this.
Actually, Brian, that should be way higher than plus one.
The money line was 190. I don't know if he's talking about Brewers team total and the money line as a two-legger. The money line itself is 190.
Oh, okay. Because if you're parlaying that should be.
I mean, the money line is 190. So if he's doing that and the Brewers team total over, it's got to be more.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. So I mean, but then again, the way he frames it, we'll see.
Oh, no
parlay, Brian says.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
All right, bottom of the sixth here in Wrigley. Let's see what the Cubs can do.
We haven't been able to find a way on that game.
Mario Morel and Suzuki up. I got you, Brian. You're betting them separately. No parlay there. The money line is around 190. And in essence, I mean, you think the Brewers are gonna, score some runs, and that will lead to them winning the game. So both as individual bets, and then you kind of cover your bases. The Brewers wind up winning, 3-2. You still wind up on the game because of the money line.
Do you have a Diamondbacks team total by chance?
I can find one for you.
If you don't,
Diamondbacks are up 2-1 going into the bottom of the fifth. Diamondbacks team total 4.5. Not horrible, minus 138.
That's not bad. I mean, you got the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. You said 4.5?
I did, minus 138 to the over.
Okay.
And I know someone was asking about Colorado team total as well. Maybe it was Dexter. That's at 3.5. Leadoff man on for the Cubbies in the bottom of the sixth. We need runs there as well.
3.5, huh? Man, one of those has to come in. Either the Diamondbacks have to hit their team total or the Rockies have to hit their team total. I mean,
well, the game total is 8.5.
I mean, was it 11.5?
At one point, it closed.
No, I mean, at this morning.
Pre-game, I saw it at 12.5.
Yeah, okay.
Pre-game, I saw 12.5, yeah. Brian is saying that the Dodgers have been playing well, but it has been against the blunt guts trash of the NL West. I'm thinking the bullpen is due to kind of blow up, which isn't horrible. Listen, I mean, the book still loves the Dodgers. The numbers you get, fading the Dodgers are. Oh, nice play. Nice play in short right center field by the second baseman going all the way over to the foul line, and Wrigley sliding catch almost doubled up the runner as well. But it's still a runner on first now with one out in Wrigley.
Your Twins are threatening again.
Twins pouring it on. They're not my Twins, but
I mean, you had a good. I mean,
I had to read on them. I had to read on them, but Correa hit a double play ball.
Well, they got out of it.
So they get out of it. It's still 5-2 Minnesota. We go to the top of the eighth there. But listen, if you hold in that plus 1.5, you look decent. And if you listen to Dexter, Twins money line also looks good. And that's what we say. Matt mentioned this at the top of the show. We appreciate y'all in the chat. You're giving us everything from bullpen availability to kind of updates on games as we're going around, the league. So we appreciate the Keg chat conglomerate, as it were. If you see something, say something.
100%. Yep.
We go to the ninth in Washington. Still no runs since we talked about it.
How about will there be a run scored in the ninth? Probably got
Where?
all hands on deck.
In Washington?
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get I feel like we get the A relievers though.
Yep, that's the problem. Yep.
So that's a problem for me. You've been looking at the Cardinals all night. They have 2 runners on, but 2 out. That's down to 3.5 now. We were looking at it at 5.5, 4.5, 6.5 earlier. Giolito, the Angels acquisition. Isn't it hysterical? The Angels, like, were playing well, decide to, buy at the trade deadline, do not entertain any deals for Ohtani.
Yeah.
And all they've done is defecate the mattress. Giolito, one of their acquisitions, is getting hurt up again tonight. Rangers up 4-1 at home. You think the Rangers hold on in that division, Matt? The Rangers.
Yeah.
You don't think Houston catches them?
No. I like the Rangers this year.
Okay. I mean, they can hit, but can they pitch? And Eovaldi's still down, right?
Yeah, what's interesting about them is, I mean, where is this team? I know you can't injuries, but where is this team with DeGrom?
Oh, fair. I'll tell you where the team is with DeGrom. Not acquiring Max Scherzer, though. In all likelihood.
Yeah.
If they have a healthy DeGrom, who else is in there? Eovaldi went down. John Gray was pitching.
Yeah. Gray has been fine
for most of the season. I don't know if they shove and acquire Scherzer if they have, a healthy DeGrom pitching at pitching to a 2.14 ERA or whatever is likely for that to happen. Runner on second base, 2 out for the Cubbies.
And they have a pretty good bullpen too, Texas. So bases loaded in St. Louis, but Fred Ship's probably sailed there.
Yeah. Cubs out of the inning also, still tied at 3 in Wrigley. Bogart's up in a big spot early in the first inning. 2 runners on, 2 out for Bogarts against Flaherty. That's an interesting acquisition to me. I love that Baltimore went out and got Flaherty for their rotation for what will be a playoff run.
Yeah.
Put him at the top of the rotation. If he ever returns to the form of, 2 years ago? He was a Cy Young candidate 2 years ago.
Well, he won a Cy Young, didn't he? One or two.
That's the same year I'm talking about. If he actually won the Cy that year?
I could have sworn he won a Cy Young. I mean, it's been like 2 or 3 years ago, but
Right. 6 more outs for the Mets at Citi Field. 8-5 Mariners, says Smokestack, as
they're still scoring there, huh?
They are still scoring. There one additional run there. 8-5 Seattle now, top of the 7th, 2 out, man on second. All right, so to reset the deck here, games we have. What's up, Matt?
No, I talked.
Oh, my bad. Boston, Washington. We were on an over. We're gonna need Washington to tie it up to force extra innings in that one. Pittsburgh and the Mets. We've all laughed about it. Detroit, Minnesota. That one, I was telling you the right thing the whole damn time. If you got it, kudos to you. St. Louis and Oakland. We go to the top of the 8th. St. Louis had the 5-run lead. We were talking about them needing to win from here. They have not done that. The A's are up 2-0 since we started talking about it in the middle innings. And then we haven't really been on Angels Rangers much. We told you we think there'll be more runs in Wrigley. That game is tied at 3 as we go to the top of the 7th. Harry Carey will be singing to the folks and 3 outs there. The runs have continued to come in Kansas City. We were intrigued by the idea of Mariners over. Then they exploded for 7 runs. You were also bringing up the Royals team total, which at one point we saw at 2.5 or 3.5. They've sailed over that. It is 8-5. And then we have, some of the early games. I mean, some of the West Coast games, Baltimore, San Diego, Tampa, and the Giants. Those games still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 8th in Minnesota. So those are the kind of, right now, the things we're looking at is, can the Mets somehow come all the way back? We go to the bottom of the 9th. Let me tell you something, Matt. Lindor, Polar Bear, Alvarez.
Bottom of the 8th.
Your pathetic bullpen in Pittsburgh. So
we still have 6 more out there.
We got 2 at-bats. We got 2 at-bats there. So, that's not all the way gone. That's not all the way gone just yet. We go to the bottom of the 9th in our nation's capital. The Nats need – what we actually need there for the over is not for them to walk off. We need them to get 1 run to tie it and go to extra innings, where there are definitely runs to be had in extra innings. Minnesota looks good. If anybody pounced on it while I was hemming and hawing or listened to Dexter Rojas on the money line, that looks good. And we've got 3 innings at least left in Wrigley Field. Still tied at 3 there. Ross may have been thrown out, the Cubs manager, just there. He was vehemently arguing a call, and I am now seeing him walk down the stairs to the clubhouse. So I think Ross got chalked.
Actually, I'm going to put that game on here.
Yeah, that's the one I'm watching, because I went on that over on the game total. So we'll see there. Thanks also, by the way, we have seen our numbers on this show grow consistently week after week. So again, guys like Brian and Smokestack and Dexter, Gavin out there, obviously Ramon, who gives me all the nuggets out there, Corey and the crew, we appreciate you. Hopefully you're in the black with us. Hopefully you pick and choose not only what we actually bet, but what we're talking about as well. For example, we didn't put the Twins bet on the scroll, but now they're up 5-2, right? And if you use us kind of as a second screen experience, you're watching the games, you have us up on an iPad or on your phone, and you're hopping around looking what to bet at. We hope you're in the black. We go to the top of the 7th in Wrigley. All right. Lindor, Alonso, Alvarez, and McNeil. McNeil has been one of those guys for us here on Live Lines also. That has done things good and bad for us. Remember when McNeil crushed us on the Mets-Yankees game? But then McNeil got a hit for us when we needed him, when we were backing him. So let's see if he can actually do something for us. Lindor strikes out.
Holderman's pretty nasty, but I'd rather be facing him than Bednar. So,
all right, we'll see what the Polar Bear can do. 35 homers for the Polar Bear already so far this season.
Yeah, so I got the Cubs game on now. All right, well, we need some late inning magic here.
We do. Cronenworth walked with the bases loaded. The Fathers are on the board in the top of the 1st.
Well, every day I take the Fathers
Team total?
First 5 team total.
Yeah, you talk about it in the same way we talk about the Atlanta Braves, right?
Yeah.
Scoring early. It's something of a gauntlet there. You got to get through the Tatis, Soto, Machado, Burglarts, Cronenworth.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
3 times probably in the 5.
I didn't take the Braves first 5 today for only the 6th time this year.
Really?
Because it was 3.5.
Yeah. Well, that came in. I decided instead on the 5.5, and what do you know? They win 5-0. Flaherty is terrible. 32 pitches in. He's walked 3 already. He's walked 3 guys in 2/3 of an inning so far.
Holy shit!
Holderman 32 pitches. He's already at 32 pitches, man, in 2/3 of an inning. Up, and then it looks like Gary Sanchez went yaya. Gary Sanchez, grand slam, 5-0 Fathers in the top of the 1st. And here's the funny part, okay? The Padres scored 5 runs in the 1st inning. They have 2 hits, Matt. 5 runs off 2 hits because Flaherty has walked the world in here. So 2 hits and 3 walks already. Gary Sanchez, I got to tell you, Gary Sanchez is hitting better than I think everyone in the Yankees lineup except Aaron Judge. And we cast him aside. Right?
Yeah.
Now, like his slugging percentage, his average, his production. I mean, since he's been with the Padres, he's hit a few homers for them already.
1, 2, 3, bottom of the 8th for the Pirates.
Oh, really?
And it's over in Washington.
Ugh. That's no good. That's no good.
So
Miami was a loss. The over in that game was a loss. Our Mets are not looking good.
Well, my pregame was great. That doesn't help the viewers at all.
That doesn't help the chat and live lines, but yes.
Although if they're in the Discord, FYI, get in the Discord.
Sure. And we are still live in Wrigley. We're still live in Wrigley here. We do need some work to be done, but we're only in the 7th and we're in a tie game. They did bring in Holderman got that last inning done.
Yeah, he's throwing 100.
Yeah. So the Mets, unfortunately, are going to have McNeil, Stewart. So they're going to have 5, 6, 7 up, and we need them to do work. We need
them to flip that lineup over.
Right. We need to see the polar bear again, in essence. Minnesota looks good, up by 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 7th one real quick in Wrigley. Nobody on, 2 out. L-Rob up.
What is that now? 8.5? What is going on there?
Yeah, as soon as I said something, there's been no scoring, right? So that one is locked, but I did see it go down to 8.5.
4-4 would be beautiful in that game if it was 8.5. Huh?
Yep, that's what we talked about. And you said you wanted to wait. Oh, Robert might have just went yard. I think Robert might have gone yard because the total just bumped up from 8.5 to 9.5, and the White Sox just became a minus 182 favorite.
Yeah,
so Luis Robert went yard. That's one of the runs we need. I was looking at him for the good old Dinger Tuesdays as well. I was looking at that game. I wound up settling on Bellinger, but Robert.
And we were just trying to get 8.5 in that game too.
Right, and it just jumped back up to the 9.5. So we're missing things by a second. Left and right here. Luis Robert gives the White Sox a 4-3 lead. Still, the idea of getting that over 8.5, that over 9.5 is still Seager yard, says Brian Smith. That would be for the Rangers, yeah?
That's 2, right? Didn't he have a – thought he had one earlier. The nice thing now is we have a better chance of getting that Cubby bottom.
We do.
9th.
And that is the second of the night for Corey Seager. 5-1 Rangers.
Shit. It's getting late early here.
It is. It's a shame that I didn't pull the trigger on the damn Minnesota Twins, but I'm glad you did, Dexter Rojas.
Yeah, that's good. I'm happy that someone on the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the beauty of the See Something, Say Something syndicate.
Well, I'm a big Rays fan. They're going through some turmoil here at the moment, but when you don't have Wander Franco on your team, that's not a good thing.
Glasnow came back though, right?
Yeah, he's been good.
Dexter, let us know what did you get that money line at? Because I was looking at Minnesota plus the 1.5. And at that point, it was toggling around. Did you get Minnesota? Was it 2-1? Dodgers team total. I don't know. Guys in the chat are against each other. Dexter saying Dodgers team total over 5.5. We had someone before talking about I think it was Brian Smith talking about the Brewers team total. Dexter got the Twins money line at plus 205. Nice hit right there, Dexter. If they do, in fact, hold on to win. Still 8-5 Mariners in Kansas City.
I'll take a look at the starting lineups that they ran out for Tampa game real quick.
Sure. Eloy makes an out, so we go to the bottom of the 7th in Wrigley Field. You can sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in your head. as we continue to try to find value for you across the board. Leadoff man on for the Pirates in the top of the ninth.
I mean,
that got away from us real quick. I mean, as soon as we bet it, what happened? Walk, hit by pitch?
What?
Something like that?
Walk, hit batter, hit wild pitch.
Yeah. So these relievers come in and we said it
last week we had the same scenario, and the Mets threw 16 straight balls.
Yes, and then balked.
Good balks.
And then it was a walk-off balk in extra innings. That's how that was, and that's how we got banged out on that one.
Let's see. Back to that Tampa. I mean, I look at the lineups, and I think Tampa has a better lineup they're putting out tonight. The pitching matchup is gross.
Tampa money line's plus 110.
Yeah. 7.5 run line. Is it 6? What inning is it?
I see 6.5 live right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a pitcher's park.
And that's what I was just gonna say. Pac Bell with that marine layer out there. I always hesitate in San Francisco and in Seattle. Runs are at a premium in those ballparks in general.
We got 7.5 innings to get 6 runs. What'd you say it was 6.5?
6.5 minus 120 to the over.
So we need 7 runs.
Yeah, we need to get 7. Man on second, 2 out I have for the Giants.
And the Pirates are threatening.
Pirates are threatening. 2 runners on, 1 out. We also are getting the good part of the Cubs order.
Good.
Coming back here.
So we
have Bellinger in the bottom of the 7th. Remember, now they trail by 1. If they even it up, the 8.5 is a winner. The 9.5 is what we're looking at as well.
What did we get that game at?
9.5 but plus money.
Okay.
It was going back and forth between the 8.5 and the 9.5. We got it at 9.5. You wanted to wait for the end of the inning for it to fall to 8.5. I jumped on it at 9.5 at the plus money. So let's see. What we got. I've got Horner, then Happ and Belly.
And we'll get them in the 9th probably too.
At this point, we will, yes. So to me, after the game at Wrigley, by the way, our boy Mitch Garver is up for the Rangers in the bottom of the 7th. He's been one of the favorites for us. Nico gets on base, pushing it to Ian Happ. So man on, 1 out for the Cubbies with Happ and Belly and Swanson, guys who we have seen do work for us here on Live Lines before. Torkelson goes yard for the Tigers. So that one is not done yet. It is still a 2-run lead, 2 outs away for the Twins. But Torkelson hits what could be a meaningless home run, depending on where you are on the run line. So it's 5-3 Minnesota there. Remember, Detroit was up 2-0 for most of this game. We were toying with the Twins plus a run and a half. Then Minnesota exploded for 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. As we were talking about it, Dexter Rojas goes home a winner, we do believe.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And so the Twins are 2 outs away from finishing that one up. We're in the bottom of the 7th in Wrigley. That's where I'm watching right now. Happ, Belly, and Swanson. Oh, Nico got caught stealing. I don't like that.
I mean, I guess it's a stealing situation. I guess.
Is it though?
I mean,
you want to get out of the double play, but you're down by a run with the meat of the order coming up.
I mean, it's everyone's got different takes. I mean, you get the guy at second, in scoring position, but
I hear that. But the reason I don't like doing it is because you got 3, 4, 5 up right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Brewers 1st and 3rd, 1 out against the Dodgers. Our boy Brian Smith, I think, is on the Brewers.
Yep. For sure. Brewers runners on the corners, one
What
out.
is what's the total in San Fran?
I'll let you know. Edmund went yard for the Cardinals, making that a 4-run margin again in St. Louis, by the way. It's still 6.5 in San Fran, but now it's even money to the over, plus 104 to the over. So plus money to the over now in San Francisco. That game's still scoreless going into the top of the third.
Yeah, I mean, Viper, I'm with you on that because coming into that game, I liked the Orioles. I don't know that I liked them to win, to be perfectly honest. They were a dog. But I like them against Waka. So, I mean, plus 5.5.
Yeah.
They have the better pen. That's a good look, actually.
Plus really 5.5 for the O's. I see it at minus 142 in the chat. If you can find a better number at another book, let us know. I mean, the Padres do have a good bullpen, though. And in last night, I think it was a 4-1 final. Baltimore won 4-1. They did use their normal guys since it was a 3-1. A 3-run victory. They used their normal 8th and 9th inning guys, if memory serves me correctly.
I would be interested to know if Batista's available.
No, Batista got the save. Batista threw like 20 pitches last night.
Okay, that's not good then.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'll double check that for you, but I was looking at that because I was looking at the Waka play earlier.
Yeah,
that was one of the things I looked at was who was used last night, but I'll double check it. Last night, the O's used Batista. He threw 21 pitches, and they used Webb in the 8th. So Batista's probably – I don't know if Batista's available.
I mean, he's a horse.
He is. He's a large man, to be sure. He is a very large man. He is a very large man.
All right, so what do we got? Bottom of the 9th in Pittsburgh here? Let's go. Or in New York.
Let's go. Jeff McNeil will start us off here. It is Bednar in, as it is a save situation. 3-run lead for Pittsburgh. Let's see if we can get some magic here. It's a final in Minnesota. So if you came back on the Twins, whether it be the run line or the money line, you are a winner. 5-3 Minnesota. That game is a final. McNeil is up to open up the bottom of the 9th in Citi Field. The Mets need 3 runs to tie, 4 to win. Right now, for those, you were talking about this one, excuse me, plus 5.5 for Baltimore is at minus 142.
Yeah.
And it just moved to plus 4.5, but to plus money.
Right.
Rockies tied it up in Coors Field. That game now tied at 2, but there has not been the outburst of runs that you were expecting.
McNeil struck out. 96. That gets past him.
McNeil struck out. We're in the top of the 8th in Wrigley here.
We could get 3 runs in Wrigley.
I think so too. I think that is viable. Especially if we get to like 4-4 and it goes to extras, We'll need the Cubs in the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs will have Bellinger, Swanson, and Candelario. That's their 4, 5, 6. And to be clear, the White Sox traded some of their best bullpen arms at the trade deadline. Graveman got dealt. I think Liam Hendricks they shut down again. He got hurt. So Twig is telling us he got Baltimore plus 4.5 at plus 108. Yeah. So that's Baltimore winning the game from here on out is what you need. After this game in Wrigley, I'll probably wrap it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at here. We'll see what the Cubbies can do. The Twins game, like we said, is finished. 1 out, nobody on for the Mets.
Let's see.
Nothing else really sticks out. Flaherty is laboring in San Diego. Flaherty's thrown 46 pitches through an inning and 2/3. Tatis just doubled in the gap, so Juan Soto is up there.
That's good. I'm cool with that. Stewart with a single up the middle, so we still have life.
We have life in Citi Field. Runner on base. I mean, if we get a shot here to bring it to 1, that would be hysterical.
Yeah, I'll take. Do we turn this lineup over? Is the question.
Right. I mean, we're at the 7 spot, so
that's okay. We'll need Lindor to win the game anyway, right? Somewhere around Lindor's.
If we get to Lindor and Alonso, we will be on the edge of our seat. That is to be sure. 0-2 count, however, unfortunately.
Yeah, Bednard's doesn't have as good stuff tonight.
Oh, you're watching it?
Yeah. He's just throwing right past everyone at 94.
But it's like 95. Yeah, you said he's usually at triple digits, yeah?
No, he's 98. So we need some runs here in Chicago. That one I had pregame at over 8.5, so I liked runs there. But they just stopped. I swear it was like
everything. That's what happened to us tonight. That's what happened with Boston, Washington. That's what happened in Colorado when we talked about it.
Yeah, Boston, Washington just died. Was there a run scored after we bet it?
I don't think so. I think we got it at 5-4, and the final was 5-4. So, that didn't go well for us. Same thing really in Colorado. It's still now 2-2. And it's stalled on some level in Kansas City. Remember, all those outbursts happened in, a unique half of the inning. Outside of that, there's just been the solo run for the Mariners in the top of the 7th. We're now in the top of the 8th. That game's still 8-5.
Mets popped out.
We're down to our final out.
Final out there.
In Citi Field. Down to our final out in Citi Field. Like you said, good thing we had a cushion here on Live Lines. Hopefully you've been with us since the start.
Most of the guys have, I think.
So. I think so too. Most of the guys have been with us since the start. We'll be back at it next Tuesday, to be sure.
I know some of you guys join the Discord. If you guys, again, join Kegger Discord.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Subscribe to the YouTube channel also. This way you get like a notification when we're going live, whether it's on NASCAR, whether it's on UFC, whether it's us here on Major League Baseball. Ortega is the last hope, it looks like, for the Mets, with Bednar throwing seeds.
Brewers up 1-0, so they got 1 in the top.
They got 1 there. I know we had who was it?
Brian.
It was Brian.
Brian Smith.
Yeah. Was talking about the money line and the Brewers team total.
That'd be a good call on the money line. Because when I last thought it was like minus 220.
The Dodgers were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus 190, I think we saw from Milwaukee.
Yeah. That's a nice call if that comes through.
Runner got to second, I think, on a little defensive indifference, right?
Yeah. I just can't believe that 7th inning, what the Mets did.
Yeah, listen, I mean,
Jesus.
Like 3 walks in a row,
3 walks, a hit batter, and then a wild pitch.
All right, I've got the ball in play. Did that drop, or is it done?
Again, somehow I'm behind you.
I got a little bloop to right field.
It's over.
Okay. Yep. So we're done in Citi Field. That's unfortunate. So now what we're looking at is the bottom of the 8th in Wrigley. We're looking at the bottom of the 8th in Wrigley. We need some runs. Bellinger, Swanson, Candelario.
The Dodgers minus 135. Wow, how about that? You got a whole dollar. You got a dollar back.
20. Yep. For the one run deficit, you lose a dollar.
That's crazy.
A's have 2 outs left in the top of the 9th, or else Cards final. Bellinger leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Cubbies.
So what, Waka's got 6 outs? We're under 14 and a half. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I said he wasn't going to get through 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so 16. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's only given up 1 hit. He's only got 27 pitches. The key for me on this one was the fact that it was his first start in like 2 months.
Yeah, they're not going to run him out there for 90 pitches.
Exactly. And to be quite honest, if they're up 5-0,
yeah,
then again, they may get him the 5 to qualify for the win if they're up like that. But he's at 27 pitches. He's gone 2 innings. So we'll see. Full count I've got on Belly.
It's like they got Bummer facing him. Bummer can be nasty. Lefty. Take a walk here.
Belly flew out to right center. 1 out, nobody on.
All right.
Brian says with the Dodgers, when they're big favorites and they like them, they wait for this kind of line move. It's true. Listen, There's nothing I like better than a team going 1-0 up on the Dodgers in Chavez Ravine. You get that dollar discount. I'm completely with you, Brian. When they're over minus 200, you wait and hope they're down early and then get the little discount. That's definitely a strategy. I would say, to be honest, Brian, it's similar. Oh, Bellies went all the way to the wall.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, backed up against the ivy. And I told you, I pivoted from Luis Robert to Bellinger for the Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. I had Matt Olson in the Braves game. Did not happen. And I was looking at the Cubs game because I knew we would be talking about the Cubs offense at some point. And I was on Robert, and I switched it last minute to Bellinger. So Bellinger to the ivy, but no. That's right, Brian. They seldom cover the run line when they're big favorites. I agree with you. And that's why with these favorites, whether it's a team like the Dodgers, whether it's a team like Houston, sometimes you wait for that other team to go down and you get the discount. I mean, quite frankly, that's exactly what I was talking about when we came on air with Detroit, Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
You hope the bad team gets up early. That's the beauty of betting live, especially in baseball. You hope the bad team somehow gets out early on. I used to do this, not this year, but in years past, Orioles, Yankees. If the Orioles scored, I would hammer the Yankees. They would be like, might do something favorites also. Looking to get that kind of discount. That is live betting 101 kind of thing for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. You're absolutely right. Astros tonight, as an example, as well. You're right with the Marlins going up. The Marlins, it's a little bit less so, Brian, because the Marlins are a good team, right? They're 6 over. They're playing for something as well. I think it's more even like the spot where you have a real kind of bottom feeder. That's why I that's why I was talking about the Tigers one. Tigers 7-0 Fathers off of Flaherty now. Wow. Machado with a double to drive into Tatis. Show me your Tatis, and Juan Soto score in front of on the Machado double 7-0 Fathers. That game only in the bottom of the second. Flaherty has thrown 65 pitches, given up 7, walked 4, and given up 4 hits. The Padres
he's
have
always
7 runs on 4 hits.
Yeah, he's always been pretty good with his control. That's
yeah. But Flaherty's in a new uniform.
Yeah. I wonder if you get through the second in Chavez Ravine, that comes down even more for the Dodgers.
Yeah, if the Dodgers put up a 0 in their part of the second.
Yeah, what's it going to go down to?
140 maybe.
That wouldn't be a bad comeback.
You're absolutely right, Brian. We can't, no one's trying to bet minus 200 favorites going into a game, but you get that same team live at minus 130, something like that, then that's certainly more palatable. That's the blueprint here. That's what we're looking for. And to be quite honest, when we come on air at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, those are some of the things we're looking at. We found it with Detroit, Minnesota tonight. Those are some of the opportunities that we are looking for here if you are new to the live betting game. Bottom of the 8th, Swanson made out as well. Nobody on, 2 outs. The scoring has stopped in Wrigley Field. As soon as we've been talking about a game, it stops tonight. Rangers up 5-1. Runners on, 2 out. Looking to tack on against the Angels and what was Giolito. I don't think Giolito's won a game for the Angels since he's moved over.
Yeah. And looks like the Mariners are trying to tack on here.
The D-backs scored in the 7th.
That was bound. You're bound to get runs there at some point, aren't you?
You would think so, but it's still only 3-2.
I know.
I think those team totals we were talking about still have not been reached. I think it was 3.5 and 4.5 were the team totals in that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did talk about that. Yep.
Right. So we're staring at 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Big shout out to Brian Smith. Says he's late getting in here, but he's glad he made it after all. Listen, I always say we're not just giving you the fish, we're teaching you how to fish, right? So even if these fish that we catch tonight turn out to be rotten, hopefully you're still learning something that you can apply to a day that is not a Tuesday when Matt and I are holding you down. Matt's got his Jesus piece in his mouth. I'm going to do the same here. Solidarity. I got you. Is that how we pray for runs in Wrigley, Matt?
Yeah. So even with a losing night, though, we'll still probably be 3 or 4 units up. But that'll be back-to-back losing weeks, though, and I don't like that.
Which we do not like. We're out of the 8th in Wrigley as well. So we'll see what happens here. I will say this, though, 4-4 getting us to extras, or the Chi Sox tacking on is something. Dodgers are now at minus 145.
Wow.
Over on DraftKings, minus 138 on FanDuel.
That's a pretty good number if you're a Dodgers backer. You pretty much
went out.
Yeah.
You've gained $1 probably. You've gained a full $1 in an inning and a half. Ooh, Brian tells us that Seager, who's already gotten Yaya twice tonight, is up again with bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
Have a night.
No, he didn't go yard again, but it's in play. And he does get the run in. They score again. So the Rangers go up 6-1, I believe, and Seager may have all 6 of the ribbies.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you get the Rays? You can get the Rays money line plus money, right?
The Rays. Yeah, plus 112.
Yeah.
Moreover, though, you were looking to get over 6.5. How do you feel about 4.5 now in San Francisco?
Yeah, I don't know. What is the Rays team total? 2.5.
It's got to be. It might be 2 on the number, but let's see. 2.5 plus money. San Francisco also 2.5. There are so many 2-0, 3-1 games though in San Francisco. Honestly,
dude, can you? There's no way you can get a. No, you can't get a team total 7. Can you get an Orioles team total 5?
No. Orioles team total,
or no, just an Oriole team total game.
3.5.
But it
plus,
was
plus 1.
I got a hell of a number. I got 2.5 for 7 innings, and then we're 2 innings in.
That's crazy. And now we're 2 innings in, and they're still hanging 3.5, even though they haven't scored.
That's what I was gonna say. Give me 1.5.
Yeah,
but yeah. That does. I got a hell of a number.
They still got to score. But yes, you did get.
Right. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to win.
I know. Listen, sometimes I shove all in. You know, sometimes I shove all in at the poker table, having the hand, and I get, and people river me sometimes. You know, it happens.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get your money in at the right times, the right places.
100%.
And over time, you know what I'm saying? Even like when we had 4 winning weeks in a row to start the show, like for promotional purposes, it's great to get out the gate hot, right? But there are going to be snippets of time where, where you're hot. There's going to be snippets of time where you're cold. That's why I love, when you see a batting average in April, and you see a guy hitting like 0.93 or you see a guy hitting 440. It's a very short sample size.
Right. Yep.
But over time, that's what you're trying to do. Like, real sports investors know we're trying to, you're trying to win 55% of the time, right? And that keeps you afloat in this game that we play.
Yep.
You show me, and that's why, to be quite honest, social media right now is flooded with people that are like, yo, I hit at 90%. Yeah, show bullshit. Show me that maybe you hit at 90% for like a week or maybe even a month. But show me that over time, and I'll wonder, I'll wonder about the rest of your life choices.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I probably could hit 60% on just Pittsburgh plays.
Right, Steelers. Where you go deep. Right.
Yeah, Steelers, Pirates. I could
absolutely hit 60. Right.
But the rest of the sports, I'm trying to hit that 55.
Exactly. Colorado tied it in the 7th. That game is now 3-3. You know what? That game's 3-3, Twatty. 3-3, bottom of the 7th, and they were hanging 8.5. I love the even number totals.
Yeah.
3-3 could get 4-4, which gets you a winner, and we're still in the bottom of the 7th. You've been talking about runs expecting to eventually come in that game. You want to give the people one more play on our way out here?
Well, what is it?
We're in the top of the 9th in Wrigley, and we've been coming up snake eyes so far. 8.5 is the total in Coors Field. 3-3 game.
So we're expecting 3 more runs in 2 innings, basically, though.
I'm really just expecting 1 run from each team. That's all I'm expecting.
But what if it could be 2 runs from one team.
5-3 does not help me. 4-4 would be a winner. 5-3 does not help. Forget I said it. Because we have a home run in Colorado, making it 5-3 Rockies. We were just a second late. Doyle goes yard. Doyle rules.
I mean, I've been saying that the offense has got at some point, and there it is.
And here it comes.
At some point, it had to happen.
There have been 4 runs scored in the 7th inning, 1 on the Arizona side, 3 on the Colorado side. The Rockies take a 5-3 lead in this game. So the runs did eventually come. Now the total is back up to 9.5, but we don't have the tie game that I like.
Yeah.
Colorado 5-3, but the team total for the Rockies, which I believe is another one. Yeah, Dexter right back in there. Dexter says, didn't I say Rockies team total? You sure did, and you are correct. Dexter nailing the Rockies team total tonight. Dexter was also the guy with the Twins money line tonight. So Dexter Rojas with a nice little night here. Big shout out to you, Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the over 3.5 and over 4.5 in that team totals.
Right,
and,
so the Rockies got theirs.
The Rockies are already there. Diamondbacks have a little work, but they got
Arizona would need one more, yeah.
two at bats for that. So the Orioles aren't doing anything right now.
Orioles are doing nothing. Waka is looking good. Question is how long
that's very strange to me. Very strange. Generally, when you're coming back from an injury, you have good stuff, but you don't have control.
Location, right?
Location, yeah. You may get a tick or two more in miles per hour. Your curveball may be a little sharper, but you can't hit the zone. And he hasn't walked anybody.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Corey H saying it's Dexter's laboratory in here tonight. Dexter with the Rockies team total. Dexter with the Twins money line. Had the cojones when I was hemming and hawing about the +1.5. He said, F it. Let's just go money line. Ramo coño. And it comes in for him. Can't be mad at that. That's the beauty of the See Something, Say Something syndicate, my friends. Angels scored some runs.
Got a guy on second in Chicago.
Randall Grichuk. Yeah, it's Andrews is on 2 outs.
Benintendi.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even want to. Obviously,
I'd almost rather that run does not come in because right. my angle here is to try and get the tie game.
Right. I mean, I guess we would have to take a 2-run homer here and be happy.
Sure.
Oh, they got it in.
Benintendi doubled. It is 5-3, so we are at 8 right now.
That's a nice little. I'll take that with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. With 2 outs, Andrew singled. He stole second. Then Benintendi doubled him in.
So let's get one more.
Double down the left field line. So now Benintendi is up. And L-Rob, who went yard his last at-bat. He went yard his last at-bat. If he wants to go yard again, we're a winner in that one.
I'm kind of with you on that, Brian. Like, I mean, I've been looking at a way to get on the Rays. I mean, I think they just win the game. They probably win the game, so -115. It's probably a good look.
That game's in the top of the 5th. It is still scoreless. Now it's 4.5 as the total.
Can we get a 2-run blast here by Lubob?
I would not mind that if Luis Robert can do it again. I would not mind that at all. It's slowed down a little bit in Kansas City, but the Royals are threatening. 2 runners on, 1 out. Hey, check this out, man. 2 runners on, 1 out, and you can get the Royals +2.5 at plus money.
Dude, of course. No, 2.5. That makes it 8. Yeah, okay.
It makes it 8-7, but the 2 runners on and 1 out. They're assuming that this runner on second comes in.
Yeah. Okay, I looked at that wrong. I mean, it's not a bad look. I mean, really, the Royals have 13 hits tonight. They
left a lot of runners on base.
I mean, they've been hitting.
I mean, if you're Dexter Rojas, you need to smash it because you're hot right now.
Yeah, Dexter's hot. They do have Munez in. That's another gas thrower.
Isn't everybody these days out the pen?
Yeah, but a couple of these guys are like 101.
L-Rob makes out. We go to the bottom of the 9th in Wrigley. Chi Sox up 5-3. Cubbies will need to get a couple to get to that number.
I mean, I don't know. If you feel like they'll get this in, Melendez is up 3-for-3.
It is locked in Kansas City.
I want to say he's got a 16-game hitting streak right now or something.
Who?
Melendez.
Melendez?
Was it Melendez?
Melendez was up.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. One of those guys I think has a 16-game winning streak.
Well, he did not get a hit here. Did not move the runners over either. Little short flare to center. All right, so let's see what the Cubbies can do, and then we will bid everybody adieu until next week.
So basically, we need the game to get tied up.
Yes.
We need 2 runs.
We need 2 runs out of the Cubs. It's going to be the bottom of the order as well. But if they flip it all over,
that's good.
Yeah, we've seen that Talkman, Nico, Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger stretch do work for us. So to be quite honest, we get one man on, we flip it over and we're live. Otherwise, it's been a painful night for us. It's still 1-0 in Chavez Ravine, by the way, going to the top of the third. It's minus 130 for the Dodgers in the bottom of the third, excuse me. 4.5 is the live total for that game in San Francisco. Padres all over Flaherty, who is still somehow in that game. He's just taking it on the chin. He's thrown 80 pitches, Flaherty.
80 pitches.
Through 2 2/3. Giving up 7. So we'll see if the Cubbies can score anything here in the bottom of the ninth. And then we'll leave you with the idea that the Rays, we like as the better team to win that game. The Dodgers, you can get at a discount right now if you are so inclined.
Matter of fact, if they make another out, I mean, what are they going to make?
They may go to plus money.
Even, right?
Yeah. It's at 120 right now with nobody on and 2 out. So another out drops them maybe to minus 110 on both sides.
Yeah, like you said, it may even be plus money.
Yeah.
That may not be a bad look.
That is not. That is not a bad look. I agree with that.
I mean, they'll have 6.
And it's only 1 run.
Should we have a farewell?
Sure.
Should we do it now or should we wait?
No, we wait.
Okay.
I say we wait. What do you think?
Okay, so it's out. We're at the top of the 4th now. What number we got?
4th? All right, so let me tell you.
I hate to go against Brian Smith, though. He had a good pregame look.
I know. I agree. Sometimes we got to it's the power of the syndicate, right?
Yeah.
I am seeing it hasn't changed because it's still at minus 120.
Yeah, it's got to change.
So it hasn't dropped yet after that third out. You sure the third out has been recorded?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you know when it drops, what it drops to.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it too.
It's still minus 120 for me.
Which book are you looking at?
I'm looking at FanDuel.
Okay, let me look at DraftKings real quick.
Yeah, once they move it to the top of the 4th, it should move again. 1 out in Wrigley. 2 outs in Wrigley.
Cubbies have been a cash cow for me. I hate to lose with them.
I hear you. We've been lucky with the Cubs. We've been doing well with the Cubs. Brian says 6.5 and minus 120.
Fucking.
I'm not sure what game you're on there, though. Now
104?
Yeah, I still have bottom of the 3rd, so it hasn't turned over.
What are they waiting for?
I don't know. Maybe is there a play maybe under review?
I mean, I show end of the 3rd.
Okay.
Let me see here. I still have the Dodgers minus 135. There's no way that they.
On FanDuel, it just dropped to. That's weird. It just dropped to minus 118, but then it just zoomed right back up to minus 128. I really feel like maybe there's a play under review. If anybody's got eyes on that game. And we're down to the final out in Chicago.
I think that's over.
And it is a final. 5-3 final. White Sox win that game. So that one is a wrap. We have finished 8 in Kansas City. It is still 8-5. And we are into the top of the 4th. There's like 1 out in the top of the 4th, in fact, even.
That's probably why we never got the good number, huh?
Yeah, because Milwaukee made it out. All right, everybody.
Hold on. What's the number on it?
For the Dodgers?
Yeah. What's the money line?
I got a minus 130 now that we have an out on the Brewers side.
Okay.
You know, so
we're only 15 cents off, but I don't want to push it.
In essence, what you're going to need is the Dodgers to not score in the fourth. You need to get to the top of the fifth, still 1-0. Then you'll get something good. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody for checking in with us today. Come on back next Tuesday. We'll try and bounce it back for you. We were not successful here live tonight, but that's okay. Yeah. We still have a cushion if you've been with us from the beginning at Live Lines. And keep an eye out on that Padres-Orioles game to see how long Waka goes and to see if the Orioles do, in fact, get above the total that we gave you. But thanks to the chat. Thanks to my man Twatty. Hopefully, we're going to get you remote at some point as well. And we'll do it back again here right next Tuesday. Same time, same channel, getting you winners hopefully here on Live Lines. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Dave.
Later.